Another Sunday afternoon here on Vidane TV. Thank you guys so much for coming out this afternoon and spending your afternoon here with us. We're here with the Hudson Speedway iRacing Group, another race here at the Lanier National Speedway. And man, oh man, great weather outside, both in iRacing and in real life. It's about 75 degrees outside here in southern New England. Pretty damn excited about that, but that's not why we're here. We're not here to talk about the weather. Here to talk about the Hudson Speedway iRacing Group. I am your host and producer, Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr., and I brought the party with me, Kyle, still working on that nickname Young, and Rowdy Wesley Hogue. Rowdy, great afternoon. I know you've been working all morning. I've been working all morning. We're going to sit down, take a break, watch some iRacing, call some action here at Lanier National Speedway. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Paul? My name is Wes Rowdy Hogue, and we are here from Lanier Speedway with the Hudson Race Group, ladies and gentlemen, with the Vidane TV Racing. You're going to be seeing a bunch of short track racing here in the street stocks. Going to be doing a couple different heat races. I believe we're looking at least one 12-lap heat race and then a feature event. So the feature is scheduled to be one fast repair in this feature, and then I believe we're going to have 50 laps or 50 minutes in this feature. So we're going to be going wide open and running into the soul light. Kyle?
Apparently, our friend Wes has been spending more time up in the Carolinas than what we are aware of. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome on into Vidane TV, and welcome to the Lanier National Speedway with the Hudson Speedway iRacers. Wes, we saw these guys put on one hell of a show last week. Really looking forward to seeing what they can do here today. We saw a nice green-white checkered bump and run, nearly 3-wide finish last weekend. Going to be hard to top that, but I'm feeling confident. I feel like these guys can do it again.
These boys know how to get it done here at Lanier Speedway, and one driver that really knows how to get it done is Derek Gluchaki. We've seen him put on a show week after week after week, and it's good to see him back here in street stocks, and I'm ready to call some action. If you're watching on Vidane TV, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on Vidane Racing or Vidane TV on Facebook, make sure you hit that like button. We are calling action almost every day of the week these days. We keep it rocking and rolling, always live at Vidane. And again, we are here with the Hudson Speedway iRacers. A lot of these drivers are local to Hudson Speedway. And because Hudson Speedway is not on iRacing, we use Lanier Speedway. And these guys are race for money. They don't race for free. They are strict. They don't let much crap fly, and they do what they got to do, and they make sure they get it done here, Kyle.
Yeah, indeed they do. It should be a great afternoon of short track street stock racing. We've got qualifying going on right now. About a minute and a half left into this qualifying session. And at the moment, Regan Parent's number 17 car is currently at the top of the charts with a 14.762. David Greenslet is in second with a 14.807. Then you have Kyle Bucket, Jimmy Weaver, and Derek Gluchaki running out the top five. Those top five spots are extremely important because they go directly to today's 50-lap feature event. Don't have to worry about any heat racing action. And as soon as I go through that lineup, Tony Quadros puts his number 15 car in position number 2. That'll knock Derek Gluchaki outside of the top 5, so he will now have to run a heat race. But still about 45 seconds left. We'll see what the final lineup is.
I wonder if Regan Parent is related to Regan Guardian.
That would be a great question, I guess.
I guess it's just going to be one of those questions that we're going to have an answer for. I mean, they always say bring your parent or guardian to the racetrack, and I got at least one of them. Crickets are loud today in the booth.
I'm not too sure how to react to that one.
Act the same way my parents do. Just smile and say, that's my boy.
So we're just getting wrapped up here in qualifying.
Thank you, Paul.
You'll have to excuse us. We like to have a little bit of fun. But here at Lanier Speedway, getting everybody lined up here on the grid for the first heat race. Get ready to see some action here. It looks like we got a total of 25, 30 guys out here this afternoon. So pretty stacked field. We're going to check out some heat racing, maybe a consi or two, and get on into the main event of the afternoon.
All right, and if you are on our YouTube channel, make sure you tell us who your favorite driver is. Communicate with us as we will communicate with you. That's how this works, the social distancing. So, and if you are on Verdane TV on Facebook, make sure that you comment on there. Kyle Young is watching the Facebook. He's going to make sure that he's able to answer your questions, have some fun, and we like to do a little bit of trivia with our viewers every once in a while. And we like to do giveaways like virtual high fives and virtual hugs because our country is in a pandemic and we can't actually give you a high five or a hug. So take a virtual one and like it. Starting poll will be the 08 in this heat, that beautiful number 08 that is, of Milton Duran. Everybody's going to be making this race as well. Derek Luchacki in the 03, he'll be starting second. Watch him cheat during qualifying, but we won't talk about that. Eric Bobo starting in third in the 48. Starting fourth will be 38 of Garrett Lamb. Starting fifth will be the 91 of Justin Bankowski. Starting sixth will be the 12 of Jarrett Howard. I like that name. I like that car. Thomas Johnson lining up behind him in the 58 next to the 000 of Terrence O'Connor. And then a Robert Round in the 164 and Adam Cody in the 23 round out your field here.
So that's your lineup for heat race number 1. As Wes just said, everybody is going to qualify for today's feature event. Those guys that made it in through qualifying and will be the top 5 starters for our 50-lap feature event. Quite pretty tight qualifying times here. Both Regan Parent and Randall Phillips running the exact same time, a 14.762, but they gave it to Regan Parent. Randall Phillips will be second. Tony Quadros only 1,000th of a second behind him, or behind the two of them at a 763. David Greenslet, he had to come, I believe he was in a consolation race last week, so a great turnaround for him. And Kyle Buck, the 5th and final transfer right to the feature through qualifying. So they're your top 5 in qualifying. They will line up 1 through 5 for this feature event later today, but we do have a couple heat races to do beforehand. White flag is out, 1 to go before we go racing.
Since I'm high on paint fumes and I can't say last names to save my life, I guess it's Eric Bebo is how you say that in the 48. It's Bebo. So thank you, Steve Hefflinger, or Heffelfinger, like round finger, Heffelfinger. All right. And Robert Round says his last name is Round. R-U-N-D is Round. All right, looks like a run to me, but hell, what do I know? I'm just a kid from the South. And we are green, heading down into turn 1. Milton Duran is your leader in the 08. Derek Luchacki in the 03 running second, and they are nose to tail heading down in the 3 and 4.
Top 2 stay nose to tail. Luchacki peeks to the inside. There was just a battle there, and now he is going to go completely to the inside of Milton Duran. He's going to have the advantage coming off at turn number 2. Derek Luchacki will complete the pass, and we have a new leader here on lap number 2. Top 5 now, bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper, all the way through. A little bit of contact maybe with Garrett Lamb to Milton Duran. Everybody hangs on for now, and they continue to tighten things up in the top 5.
Really close racing here in the top 5 right now. Milton Duran in the 08 struggling to get through the entry of the corner. The 38 is just of Garrett Lamb able to close right up on him, but looks like he's able to exit a little bit better than that 38. And a little bit of touch on the wall there, but no harm, no foul. That, again, that top 5 is all nose to tail, basically. But now Derek Luchacki getting a little bit of a lead now in that 03 as we come across lap 5.
Yeah, Luchacki extends his lead to about a half a second now. Milton Duran struggles to get off at turn number 2, and that will open the door for Garrett Lamb to peek to his inside. Duran's going to hang on to the spot when they come across the stripe, but Lamb's got the preferred line down on the bottom. He'll drive it in deep. They come off of turn number 2. Lamb has the advantage now. He will try to clear on the entry to turn 3, and does so. So move the 38 up to position 2. The 08, the pole sitter, falls back to P3, but he's going to try to go back underneath the 38 for P2.
Racing here with the Lanier Speedway guys. They are making their way around. Still caution free, Kyle. These guys definitely know how to get it done.
Yeah, for sure. We saw a great race last week, and so far Good racing action inside the top 5 here this afternoon. No problems. Nice, hard-fought battles, clean passes. Nothing too out of the ordinary here for the Hudson Speedway iRacers group. These guys showing that they can do it on the real track and the virtual one as well. We've got a battle for position number 4. Justin Bankowski is underneath the 48 car of Eric Bebo. Bebo trying to make something happen on that top side, but it's not going to work just quite yet. Bankowski just about clear as they hit the stripe for 3 laps to go, and that's going to open the door for the 164 of Robert Round to try to file on through. Top 5 get an immediate transfer into this race. We were told that everybody qualifies. I don't know if we're going to run through a consolation or not, but at least for now, that is the battle for the transfer spot.
I believe everybody's going to be moving on no matter what, so all these guys know that they're in the feature, so that might be why we're not seeing too much banging. Bebo in the 48 falls victim to the 164 of Robert Round. He moves his way up into a top 5 position, as Justin Bankowski is all over the bumper of the 08, but nonetheless, Derek Gluchacki with the win. The 38 of Garrett Lamb finishing 2nd, 3rd, Milton Duran 4th, Justin Bankowski in 5th will be a Robert Round. That is your top 5.
Eric Bebo falls to position number 6. Jarrett Howard will finish 7th. Thomas Johnson is 8th. Adam Cody 9th. And rounding out the field is the 000 machine of Terrence Connor in position number 10. Heat race 1 is in the books. Heat race number 2 gridding on the racetrack right now. And here is how we will line them up. On the pole in car number 11 is Jimmy Weaver. And his outside in the number 8 machine is Gleason Smith. The 47 car of Dirk Stallecker will start in position number 3, and at his outside he will find the 97 car of Jeffrey Battle. The number 2 car, Christopher Buffon, will round out your top 5 starters, and his dancing partner in row number 3 will be the 22 car of Adam Knowles. Andrew Davis will drive the number 26 car here today. He will start on the inside of row number 4. And John Morin's number 30 will be the 8th place starter here for heat race number 2. 5th and final row, the number 50 car of Matthew Kimball will start on the inside in position number 9. And starting scratch on the field for this second heat race is Ben Bazowski in car number 75.
And Ben is actually the main guy. He is the owner of Hudson, so he actually won't be starting in this. He is looking over everything. And we want to give a shout out to Stephen Dickey Jr. He's one of the admins here. He had, it looked like a possible house fire or a structure fire. And because of that, he is not able to join us here tonight. So our thoughts are with he and his family. We hope everything with Stephen works out to his benefit. Really, really tough to hear that this morning. We almost didn't have this event, but we were able to still get it in. But definitely, his our thoughts are with Stephen Dickey and his family. So Robert Run said it is run. It's not round. It's run. There's no A. It's like run DMC or
there's no O either in run.
That's right. Yep. No, okay. And I run.
Paint fumes.
I run
blame it on the paint fumes.
And we are green flag racing for Jimmy Weaver. Hey, I know that last name. He is in that 11, almost 3 wide there for second. Gleason Smith is trying to battle off Jeffrey Battle. Oh, you see what I did there? of the 97 on the outside. Oh, they're wrecking behind us. The 47 of Dirk Stallecker gets knocked to the back like Natalie Decker. And there goes the 02 spinning now. Big old junk in the back. They are wrecking big time. Still no caution. The 22 of Adam Knowles involved. Christopher Buffon in the 2 involved. The 47 of Dirk Stallecker, and then the John Morin ride of that 30. So this heat race, the exact opposite of the last one.
Cars scattered and splattered all over turns 1 and 2. No caution thrown. Everybody's going to get it going, and we will continue on. That's going to space things out quite a bit within our top 5. Jimmy Weaver's number 11 car still leads. Gleason Smith is 2nd. Jeffrey Battle is in 3rd. Then you got to go back a few more seconds to pick up the 26 car of Andrew Davis. And then way back behind that, the 5th and final transfer in this heat race is the 30 of John Morin. So we've got the top 3 cars within 1 second of each other. Jimmy Weaver's lead is a little over half a second, but I believe that gap is starting to close. Gleason Smith reeling him in. They come to complete lap number 5, and it does close by about a tenth and a half. So
in the wall and wrecking. He hit the wall all on his own on the backstretch, entering 3, and he goes around the 30 trying to get things back up of John Morin. Man, he was battling out and just lost it there into 3 and just spun her on around the 30 car. Bad luck for him this race. Not having a good race. And the 2 car has been black flagged of Christopher Buffon. The caution did not come out with that big wreck, but he caused it, so he gets a black flag, and now the leader, Jimmy Weaver, is blinking like his epilepsy has kicked in. He can't stop having these seizures up front, and because of that, he lost the lead and then came back. Can Jimmy Weaver stay connected to this life support of a DSL connection he has long enough to win this race?
Lots of things have changed here in this heat race. We had a battle or a position change. For position number 2, Jeffrey Battle was able to get around Gleason Smith for second, and he has put about 0.7 of a second between the two of them. We now have the 2-car Christopher Buffon off the pace. He is coming back out. I can't see Christopher Buffon. Actually, I don't know what happened to him. But anyway, back up to the front, lap and a half to go. Jimmy Weaver still leads over Jeffrey Battle. That gap is starting to close. I don't think Battle's going to get there, but we'll see what happens as a white flag flies through the air.
White flag. Christopher Buffon got the black flag there that race, and he was parked it. So he is done for this heat event. He should be back for the Consi. And then the 11 gets spun. 97 cents in. He's trying to flip him over. He's trying to flip him. Oh, they are meeting going down the front stretch. Boy, oh boy, Jeffrey Battle wrecks him, opening up the win for Gleason Smith. Wow, did he screw him over?
Oh my goodness, Wes! What a finish! I guess I discredited the speed inside the 97 car of Jeffrey Battle. My goodness, he does get to the back end of Jimmy Weaver, turns him around, and then literally drives underneath the 11 car, pushing him across the finish line. I believe it gave second place to the 11 car. My iRacing is screwing up, but yeah, Gleason Smith. Yes, now there it goes. It does. Jimmy Weaver does finish in position number 2. Administration was able to black flag Jeffrey Battle for that move, so he gets dropped all the way back to 6th. But how about Gleason Smith? Put himself in the right place at the right time, and he wins heat race number 2.
Yeah, it's one of those things, we don't really do too many instant replays during heat races, but man, this is one of those finishes that you really got to take a look at. And you can see the 11's got a little bit of damage. He's been kind of, well, it looks like it cleared itself up. But yeah, the 97 just goes way down low. Now, the yellow line's not out of bounds, but you don't want to come back up and quarter the guy. And it's not even, yeah, he didn't even slow down. You can see he is on the brakes now, the 97 car. But you can see, he almost flips the 11, and he's not on the brakes anymore because those tires are spinning pretty freely. So kind of took him out of the contention for the win there, the heat race win. But man, I totally agree with that disqualification. That's nuts. That's absolutely insane. But hey, it worked out for the 8 car because he got to come home with a victory.
Anybody in the Florida area is they are very, very accustomed to something called love bugs. Love bugs are 2 bugs that connect to each other, and they fly all over the air, and they are the most annoying thing in the world, and that's what they look like. They look like 2 love bugs just connected to each other. Nonetheless, that did not do anything for Mr. Battle. Instead of dumping him for the win, he pushed him across the line for second, gave the win to Gleason Smith, and got disqualified. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick moment to pause. Your national anthem brought to you by Nickelback. Just kidding. Don't change channel.
Just wrapping up the warm-up here. These guys had 5 minutes to kind of feel out their cars and see what all they've got here, getting ready for the big event of the evening, the main attraction, the big show, the feature race, a bunch of other big names to call this thing. I'm excited. Kyle, Wes, you guys excited?
Absolutely, Paul. Ready to get things underway. These guys got about 20 more seconds to make their final adjustments, final fittings for this feature event. We're going to go another 50 laps here this afternoon at Lanier National Speedway. Lanier National Speedway, actually a defunct racetrack, unfortunately, in the real world. They actually did have a bit of a resurrection last year and had a one-off event. Hopefully they're able to figure something out for the long-term future. But if not, this place will forever live on iRacing. They also have a dirt version of this racetrack on iRacing, so that's pretty cool for the dirt racers as well. But this afternoon we're running the asphalt version, the normal version of Lanier National Speedway. Warm-up has officially come to an end, and it is time for the drivers to take the grid for this afternoon's 50-lap feature. Hudson Speedway iRacers getting ready for yet another event here on a Sunday afternoon on Vidane TV.
Taking a look right now at your starting grid. That 17 car qualified in on time. Reagan Parent's going to start on the pole. Starting outside of him is going to be Randall Phillips in the number 19 car.
On the inside of row number 2 is the 15 of Tony Quadros. And to his outside in car number 20, starting 4th, is David Green.
Behind them, the 05 Kyle Buck. Right next to him, another O in his name, number rather, 03 Derek Kluchaki. He's going to be starting on the outside of row 3.
The winner of heat race number 2, car number 8 of Gleason Smith. Starting on the inside of row number 4, and to his outside is the 38 car of Garrett Lang.
Jimmy Weaver and Milton Duran, they're going to close out the top 10. They're in row number 5.
Andrew Davis in the 26 car will start in 11th, and to his outside in the number 91 is Justin Bankowski, who will roll off 12th.
Cars beginning to roll here. The 47 Dirk Stahlecker, he's going to start at 13th, followed by Robert Rund in the 164. He'll be starting 14th. Rounding out the field is going to be Adam Knowles, Eric Bebo. We got the spelling and the pronunciation of that corrected by one of our fans. Thank you very much. Jeffrey Battle in the 97. Jarrett Howard, John Morin, Thomas Johnson, and Adam Cody, Terrence Connor, the 000, going to be starting shotgun here on the field. Looks like the lights are off in that iRacing Mustang pace car. And man, oh man, you can take a look from all the racing action so far this afternoon throughout the qualifying, the practice, and the heat racing. Take a look at all those rubber build-up marbles on the outside of the racing groove. Definitely going to be a factor here. The green flag is in the air. 17 gets a great hole shot, heads on down into turn number 1 with about a car length over the battle for second.
I am back, ladies and gentlemen, and so are these cars here at Lanier, as Regan Parent or Guardian must be attending with you at this race, is up front in that 17, taking on a lap 2 with a sizable lead, but the battle for second is leading on to Tony Quadros. Randall Phillips in the 19, and the 05 of Kyle.
Caution flag's going to fly here for the first time in this 50-lap feature on lap number 2. We've got the 000 machine of Terrence Connor facing the wrong way on a one-way road. The 26 of Andrew Davis is also involved. We'll rewind it, take a look to see what happens, but the caution flag is out for the first time here in this afternoon's 50-lap feature.
Take too long for them to get sideways here, as Paul's going to get our replay up and going. Paul, what do you got for us?
All right, we're going to take a look here at the 000 car, and you can see the 23 is behind him. Not sure if he was involved in this caution. You saw the live shot, and you see the... Oh yes, definitely involved. You can see the 26 car was stopped. He was stopped in the racing groove, and you can see the 000 rather kind of backs up just a bit. 23 just can't see through him and just plows right into the back of him. So that's definitely going to cause some big damage. I'm not sure how that's going to affect him here for the rest of the afternoon, but we'll back up and see what we can take a look. What got the 26 car out of shape? And you can see it too far. We'll take
like
a look.
Me, it's Oreos.
Yeah, The 11 goes down low, and the 8 kind of makes it 3 wide for a split second. 8 car goes up high, and the 26 looks like he just comes down and loses it on his own and gets a little bit of a shot there from the 64. Not entirely his fault, because that pink car behind him, and you see the 000 backs into his nose. So that's gonna be a damaged race car as that we come back to the green.
Yep.
Paul, you had just mentioned all those marbles build up on the bottom and the top side of the track. These guys, they do not clean the racetrack in between sessions here. So I'm wondering if maybe that had something to do with it. The 26 car there, Andrew Davis, he dropped down to the bottom of the track, maybe trying to find a little bit of space, and went too low, got on the apron, slid in the marbles, and the guys behind him just couldn't check up enough to stay off of him and spun him around. He doesn't appear to be in too bad of a shape. He is at the back of the field. Unfortunately, though, Terrence Connor still sits on pit road. He has lost 4 laps. His day appears to be done. If not done, it's going to be pretty bad.
Yeah, as the pace car dips on down, we're taking a look off the nose of the leader right now, and you can see the straightaways are pretty clean, but in those turns, man, you can look down low by the wall and up high, and the top third of the racetrack, those marbles are just all over the place, so definitely going to be a factor here this afternoon.
All dies in the production truck. If you're not familiar with what marbles are
we got trouble on the front stretch. West, the 05 of Kyle Buck has spun in front of the field, collecting a few other cars as well. He almost spun it in the center of 3 and 4. He held on, but lost it once he got to the straightaway. Bounced off the 20 car, couldn't hang on, spins in front of the field, collecting the 8 machine, the 22, the 11, the 47, piles in. Caution 2 on lap number 9.
Evan got ARCA brakes. Somebody that just, I guess, wasn't looking out the windshield. The 97 just came roaring in, and ironically, the 97 wrecks him again. The same guy that punted him there in the end of the heat race punts him when he stopped. Paul, if we can get a replay out of the cockpit of the 97, he just drove into that wreck and saw the 11 and then said, you know what, let's go bowling again, and just striked him right down through the door.
Strike him, almighty striker, and that he did. We're actually going to take a quick look here at the 05 and the 03 side by side, and you can see the 05 just loses the back end of that race car, sends him on around, and as he hits the 20, hits the 38, the 08, the 8, everybody kind of piles in behind them as they were trying to avoid calamity there. And then we'll take a look here at the 97, who's also involved. You see the 11 getting a good flip there, and not really sure where the 38 was going. He just kind of went way up high. We'll back this up just a little bit, and we'll take a look at the cockpit view, the view from the driver himself as he made his way through, well, made his way to the wreck anyway. Doesn't look like he made it all the way through. Take a look at the cockpit view for the number 97 car. And, man, the 11 car is there. He just gets hit and just, oh, man, hard hit. And here you can see the pace car heading on down to the gather these guys back up, and there's a good shot right there, down low and up high. All those marbles. They're literally marbles made out of the rubber that's coming off of the tires of these street stocks, and it's almost like driving on ice. And it's definitely affecting some of these guys, especially on the outside line. If you're not usually familiar with the outside line, or you don't usually race it, that's not necessarily your go-to, but it's definitely going to affect these guys throughout the rest of the afternoon.
Yeah, and you know, it's crazy seeing the 97 get into it again with the driver of the 11 there as we go back green. That's 2 times in one night, 2 different races that these guys make contact, and the 11 keeps on getting the brunt end of it. I know he's probably sick of seeing battle. His 19 now gets a little sideways in turn 3. That opens up the door for the 03 at Glukaki. He looks low, does Gluchaki. He takes that 3rd position from the 19, slides his way on, and right now that 19 is a rolling barricade of Randall Phillips holding up Milton Duran and David Greenslit. The 20, there goes Greenslit. Duran makes contact with Greenslit. He goes spinning, as well as the 48 of Bebo, and they are all over the place, but for the most part getting it back righted up. Man, oh man, this is being a caution-ridden 50 laps so far. Got one on his roof. That's Thomas Johnson.
Caution number 3 flies quickly after we go green. And as you mentioned, Wes, we're in a bit of a mess right now. 3 cautions within the first, 17 laps or so. We're off to a very slow pace here at Linear National Speedway. We'll take a look at that one as we have throughout all of our races here on Verdane TV. Paul, you're getting a workout in today, not only with your typical button pushing and lever pressing, but we're throwing you on the mic a lot more than what you're used to.
Yeah, it's definitely not a workout. I wouldn't call it that much because here we go again, picking on the fat kid. But we'll take a look here. It's kind of crazy with these wrecks because it's you're gonna get the initial wreck up towards probably mid-pack or so, but then you get usually an additional wreck. You see the 20 car just gets a shot, gets sent on around. The 46, 91, 05, 64 gets a little bit in it. The 12 car makes it by. I love that 12 car. I love that paint scheme. But then you see it right there, the pink car back there. I'm not even sure what number that is. It's a 47. There's just an additional wreck because guys are trying to check up and avoid the wreck. So unfortunate event for those guys. A lot of damaged race cars throughout the field here. But man, Reagan Perrin is really putting on a show up front, and he's able to hold on. I believe he's led flag to flag so far. So definitely going to be one of those things where he's going to have to keep concentrating on his restarts, make sure he gets everything up to par, and see if he can't come home with the victory this afternoon.
There's a couple things I heard in that sentence leading up to Paul giving us that great explanation. Was one, Paul working out, and Paul being thrown. Two things I don't think you'll ever hear in your lifetime. But the lights are off here on our iRacing pace car. Up front, Regan Parent. Next to him is Tony Quadros. He will be starting second in that 15. And Derek Luchacki in that Yeti machine starting third. Outside of him will be the rolling barricade. Randall Phillips says the green flag is out. On the outside, still not a good start there for Tony Quadros. That outside just cannot get going on these starts here, Kyle.
Watch that 03 car of Derek Luchacki. He got off to a great restart. He clears Tony Quadros for position number 2, and now he is all over the back bumper of our leader. And we've got trouble. Milton Duran spins to the outside wall in the 08 car. Driver's door first. Caution number 4 is out, and Milton Duran done for the day. He has just disconnected from the server.
Said, I am done with this, Kyle. Didn't Duran sing that song, Baby Spin Me Around? Wait, that's way before your time. Anyways, Milton Duran has made his way up the track. He's got done of spinning around in circles, and he said, you know what? I've raced 2 laps under green. I'm done with this. He pulls it down, and almost can't blame him at that point, Kyle.
I believe Milton Duran, if memory serves me correct, was our winner in that thrilling finish last weekend. He will not repeat today. He didn't look like that much of that violent of a crash. No real major issues. But like you said, maybe he's just fed up with all the cautions, doesn't find too much enjoyment after having to go to the back with this incident, and decided to call it a day. So Milton Duran out of this event, looks like as well. Well, we've got a handful of drivers that are laps down. I don't know if anybody is out of the race. Well, yes, Thomas Johnson has retired from the event. We'll take another shot at that one with the 08 and the 15. Pretty simple spin there, Paul.
Yeah, looking at the replay right now, you can see the Duran machine, the 08's down low and the 15's up high, and they just kind of get into the same piece of real estate, and the 08's singing on down to him. Hey, you spin me right round, baby, right round, on the outer wall. Yeah, see, I nailed it. I got a little bit of flavor for being a 300-pound white boy. But, man, tough break for the 08 to 15. The 08 is done, and it looks like the 58, Thomas Johnson, he's out. Matthew Kimball is out, and we're getting ready to go back green here at Lanier.
Race administration changing the restarts to single file for the second half of this event. Not happy with what they've seen. This is caution flag number 4, and we probably have only had about maybe 5 to 7 laps of green flag racing so far, Wes. So not an overly surprising thing to see race control do, and this may actually be a benefit to Derek Luchacki. Now he gets to line up right behind the 17 instead of to his outside. We'll see what he can do on this restart.
Starts have been key for Regan Perrin as the green flag drops, and Perrin gets a great street start, but so does Derek Luchacki straight on his bumper. He timed it perfectly, staying straight on the bumper of Perrin, and Luchacki looks low, as we've seen here before with Luchacki. In not only this league, but others, he has no problem using that chrome horn if need be. And now the 91 of Justin Mankowski all over the bumper, and the caution is out one more time, and the 11 is on his roof again. How many times can that car leave his tires in one event? Dear Lord, I think that has to be it for Jimmy Weaver. That has to be it. The 11 of Jimmy Weaver gets wrecked by the 23 and ends up on his roof again for the second time tonight.
Man, it has been a rough day for Jimmy Weaver and for Adam Cody. I believe this is at least the third incident that Adam Cody has been involved with, and this one coming with the 11 of Jimmy Weaver. He just gets him in the left rear quarter panel, spins him around, and the car, well, they make a little contact with the back bumpers, and the 11 kind of climbs up onto the back of the 23 car and topples that thing over for the second time today.
He got there. It almost looks like the 11 actually came down a little bit as well.
Yeah, and you see they made contact on another lazy iRacing street stock rolls. The 11 kind of gets up on, he's almost stuck on his door, but he has set that car down on pit road. He is done for the afternoon, so he's going to join. We've got now 6 cars. Dirk Stahlecker, Adam Cody, Milton Duran, Thomas Johnson, Matthew Kimball, Ben Basowski, and Dan Collins have retired from the race. Looks like Jimmy Weaver hasn't yet retired yet, but he is a lap down. Same with the 000 Terrence Connor. He is a lap down, but we're still looking at 15 cars here on the lead lap. Got what do we got? About 15 laps to go, it looks like. So definitely still some action that's going to be happening here at Lanier Speedway.
All right, Kyle. I think we've ran a total of maybe 10 to 12 green flag laps. Are you, Paul? Are you able to look on your fancy dancy little program how many caution laps we've ran?
As a matter of fact, I've got a button for that, and I'm going to bring it up on the broadcast right now. So we're looking at 5 cautions for 25 laps with 2 lead changes, and right now the fastest lap of the race is a 14.720. But you don't really, you can't really bank on that because these guys really haven't gotten up to speed yet. There's been, we're on lap 26, and you nailed it right on the head. Lap 36, check that. 26 of those laps have been under caution, so about 10 laps of green flag racing.
And I'll tell you what, you're not happy. The only guy that's happy about that is the guy up front. That's Regan Parent. What he's not happy about is he has one of the dirtiest players on the game behind him. Derek Luchacki has no problem using that bumper if need be as he starts to look low and thinks better of it. In 91 of Justin Bankowski behind him. Tony Quadros in the 15. All 4 cars thrown under a blanket for a bedtime story.
Derek Luchacki looking really racy here this afternoon. He had to go through one of the heat races. He started in position number 6 after winning that first heat race, and now he has made his way to the runner-up spot. Just 12 laps to go. He's got a mirror full of the 91 of Justin Bankowski, starting to pull away from him just a little bit, but time is running out here, Wes. He needs to figure something out here quickly. Regan Parent has had the benefit of clean air all race long. Lots of cautions, haven't really had a lot of time to really work on these green flag runs and where these cars are going to work their best at. But so far for now, Luchacki is mirroring the 17, only about half a car length separating between the two of them. A little bit of smoke coming off that left front tire. We have 10 laps of racing to go.
He's got driving these cars so hard that they're smoking the left fronts. Might as well at this point. We have 10 laps to go, and you don't need that rubber anymore and use it all up. Coming in 9 to go here, Luchacki to the bumper of Regan Parent. Man, but we had a little bit of action in the back. The 26 spun out, but he saved it. Our view is still here up front, though. These 3 cars battling it out. 1, 2, 3 here, coming to lap 43.
Top 3 cars starting to distance themselves just a little bit from 4th on back. Not by too much, though. Quadros is still within reach. Caution flag has flown once again.
Battle! Kyle, Jeffrey Battle has turtled over. Karma has finally caught up to Jeffrey Battle, and somewhere Jimmy Weaver is just rubbing his hands together laughing as the 20 of Greenslit kind of body checks the 97 of Battle into the wall coming off of turn 4, and Battle just barrel rolls down the front stretch into turn 1. Man, oh man, that is it for Jeffrey Battle, unfortunately. I think his chances are done here, Paul, as Paul's going to get it pulled up here for us.
Yeah, you can see even before he smacked the wall and flipped over, does 2 flips, 2.5 flips. You can see that right side of that car was already caved in. He's been in that wall a couple of times, and a couple of guys, again, just going for the same piece of real estate. Unfortunately, 2 cars don't fit in the same piece of spot at the same time, so tough break for the 97. You see he's down on pit road, and he has gotten out of that car. He is done for the afternoon, so it looks like if my timing and scoring is correct, we've got 12 cars left in the field. All 12 of those cars are going to be on the lead lap.
You would think with the amount of cars that we flipped over this afternoon, we were watching a sprint car race and not a street stock race, but that is absolutely the case. We're running street stocks here this afternoon. And Wes, I believe this may set us up for a green-white checkered. It looks at least we'll get a legal one. We may not have to go into overtime just yet, but we will have at least, or at most, 2 laps to go when we go back green flag racing. So we saw a wild green-white checkered finish last week. It's been a rough race. Could it be salvaged with an exciting finish to cap this off?
Really hope the rest of this race goes green. I hope we don't have to see another caution. I want to see if Derek Luchacki has anything for Regan Parent in the 17. As you see, the lights are off on this pace car. It's short track race, and I give these guys a lot of fuss sometimes about how aggressive they can be, but that's how short track racing is. In order to get it done, you got to be aggressive sometimes. So let's see what happens here. Pace car is off. We are back green, a legal green-white checkered here, meaning not a extended green-white checkered. Luchacki with a hard block on the 91 of Justin Benkowski through 1 and 2. We stay single file into 3 and 4. All they need to see is that white flag to know that caution is not going to come out, and the white flag flies for Regan Parent.
Here we go. Final lap. Luchacki all over the back bumper. How hard does he hit Parent? You know it's coming. Here we go into turn 3. He drives it in deep. He gives him the bumper. Parent shoots up the track, but it won't be enough. Regan Parent will hang on to win today's Hudson Speedway iRacers League feature event at Lanier National Speedway. A perfect day for Regan Parent. He won the pole in qualifying, led all 50 laps, and takes the checkered flag, holding off a hard-charging and aggressive Derek Luchacki.
Luchacki gave him the hardest hit he could there coming out of 4 without completely wrecking him, and he went for a clean bump and run, you could say, Kyle, and try to give him that bumper, but it just was not enough, as we see Regan Parent burning it down here on the start-finish line on the front stretch of Lanier Speedway. These Hudson Speedway iRacers are back at it again on next Sunday as well, I believe. But man, oh man, what a run by Regan Parent. Impressive job.
Regan Parent will pick up the victory. As mentioned, Derek Luchacki finishes in second. Justin Benkowski hangs on for third. Tony Quadros will finish fourth. And Jarrett Howard in the 12 car will round out your top 5. Randall Phillips, Robert Rund, Kyle Buck, Garrett Lamb, and Heat 2 winner Gleason Smith will round out your top 10 finishers as the results go up on your screen right now.
In race control, I know admins are not happy with some of the drivers that were a little bit more aggressive in this race that we saw that was involved in quite a few of the cautions throughout the event, which will happen. You want your races to be cleaned. You don't want to run over half your race under caution. And but that, again, that's the nature of the beast here, especially at Lanier, where you got one lane. You don't have much of a high lane to do anything with, so it ends up being some door-to-door action or some bumper-to-bumper action. But that is it here from us, ladies and gentlemen. Paul, what else we got coming up here soon?
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the upcoming shows here this week. We got the East Coast Winter League. Those guys running the SK Modifieds tonight at 9 o'clock. Don't want to miss that. Always putting on a good show over there. Wednesday night, we continue on race number 2 of the new Smyrna World E-Series, and that's a really cool series. Had some great racing last Wednesday night, and they're going to be with us. We're going to be with them. They're going to be with us for the next 8 weeks. So it's a 9-week series deal, and that's a pretty cool series as well. Thursday night, we're going to be back with the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Busch North Series at Lucas Oil. Those guys have 3 races left in their season. They're going to be working on crowning a champion, and they always throw some, every week they run different throwback paint schemes, so it'll be cool to watch that. And then Saturday afternoon, we got the Petty Raceway Series put on by Tim's Corner Motorsports at 1 o'clock. And then right back here next Sunday, Hudson Speedway iRacing Group, May 10th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's going to do it for us. We're going to put everything back into the trailer, head on down to Stafford Motor Speedway, head on up to Stafford Motor Speedway, as it were. Check out those East Coast guys, the East Coast Winter League, SK Modifieds at Stafford Speedway. 9 o'clock tonight. We're going to be streaming that on our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, let your friends know that, hey, there's some cars on track over here. You might want to check it out because we're out here to entertain the masses, as it were. So thank you guys so much. I'm Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. for Kyle Young and Rowdy Wesley Hogue. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We will see you later on tonight as we bring back Verdane TV and we do it live. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.